grave tone.
Welcome to Grave Tone Podcast, where horror comes to life in every form it takes. I'm Megan.
And I'm Arthur.
And we're a day late. Oh.
What?
We got back really late last night, so we didn't record when we got home, which we normally do. But it was late and we were tired.
I was like, we got daylight? What?
No, we're a day late.
Oh, I heard we got daylight. I'm like, yeah, that's usually you wake up and there's daylight.
I mean, okay, if I'm honest, it's sunny for the first time in like 3 days right now.
Okay, fine.
So, I'll take it. It's been raining a lot. I'm very tired. It's new release day, everyone. Well, technically yesterday was, but at the time that you are hearing this, we will have gotten back last night from seeing the 2026 remake, reboot, requel, spiritual sequel, I don't know.
All of that.
Yes,
Yeah.
the 1978 cult classic Faces of Death. This is one of those requel ones that has the exact same name. So there's no, like the way that every requel that has been made in recent years, they just keep the same name. And you're like, oh, okay. So I can't, if I Google it, I could come up with either one.
You just have to type the year at the end.
Pretty much, to be able to differentiate. So we just got back from seeing that last night. I guess as a bit of context, neither of us have ever watched the original Faces of Death film.
Yeah, it looks kind of fucked up.
It does. So
I don't know, man.
I mean, I'm not opposed to exploitation films and things like that. And in the 70s and things, these were like a huge type of filmmaking sort of trope that occurred. So this original film was written and directed, by a man named John Alan Schwartz, but he used like 3 or 4 different pseudonyms for all of the work that he did on the film, probably because he knew there would be backlash for it, I assume, in some capacity. It's credited as basically a mondo horror film, which means it's like a documentary or mockumentary style film, essentially, and it centers around a forensic pathologist who is narrating essentially his idea about death or different types of death that he refers to as faces of death. And so throughout the course of the film, he examines different allegedly real clips of people dying in different ways, being killed, whatever the case might be, and credits them as different types of faces of death and sort of examines them from a pathologist's standpoint to kind of determine findings about it, essentially. So it's kind of done almost to a degree anyway. Like, it has a lot of intense stuff in it and it's very shocking, but it's kind of done as almost like an educational sort of video to a degree. And it spawned a multitude of different sequels because, of course, it was, kind of panned when it was released, because when the film came out, the thing is, obviously, throughout the course of the film itself, the actual, I guess, deaths that we see on screen of people being killed, like on screen itself, are fake. They're not real. I'm sure it was treated as though they were at the time, so there must have been a lot more controversy around it when it came out. However, the film does show depictions, particularly in like cut footage, of a number of different disasters throughout history and the aftermath of them. So technically there are visuals of corpses and people who have been gravely injured in an accident or something of the like, or maybe, a video that's cut right before somebody is very badly injured, whatever the case may be, that were actually real videos, and it ranged from something as big as like videos of the aftermath of like the Holocaust and things to that degree, and a very large and very unfortunate plane crash that had happened actually that year in 1978. So again, this would have gotten a lot of attention. It was the crash, if I'm not mistaken, of, PSA Flight, I believe it's 182. This was a flight that was flying, I think, from Sacramento to San Diego in California. And unfortunately, it was a Boeing flight that collided with a smaller private plane in midair. And I think something like almost 150 people were killed. And it crash landed in San Diego.
And they showed that.
They showed
the aftermath.
Footage of the aftermath throughout the course of the...
Fucking insane.
Exactly. So there was a lot of that kind of stuff, a lot of these like very shocking things that, of course, would have, one, added to the shock factor of the film, but also brought audiences in
Yeah, of
people are
course.
fascinated
Yeah, yeah.
by the idea of things like this. And I'm sure that's part of the reason that the film was created in the first place.
Yeah.
So this led to a huge cult following. Apparently, there is a guesstimation that the budget for the film was roughly $450,000, and then it would go on to make $35 million at the box office. And it became one of those that was taboo enough that, you know, you can't really get it on home, like you can't find it on digital, you can't find it on streaming. People have old VHS copies of it,
Yeah.
and there weren't that many of them made, so it's one of these that has this like aura of, I don't know, like taboo-ness around it to a degree, and so it's become this kind of like lasting, I think it's left a lasting impression on you know, movie-going audiences, particularly from that time period, and it spawned a number of different sequels, a lot of which seem to use a lot of recycled clips from what I was reading from the first film. And there would be some throughout the course of the 80s into the 90s a little bit, maybe like late 90s, and then everything kind of died out. And now we have gotten
Yeah.
a
So how does that all relate to the new movie?
yeah, so now what we've gotten is this kind of requel to a degree, because this is a film that modernizes the concept, obviously, of what we're watching, and doesn't really take things in the documentary style anymore.
Right.
Which I think is pretty clear from the trailer, if I'm honest. But, you know, takes that and does something different with it, but then allows for references to the original film. And brings back, again, that cult following aspect of it, but modernizes things for the TikTok era and gives us a social media version, to a degree, of a film like this.
I mean, that makes sense. That's how you would distribute it now.
Exactly.
Right.
It would be through these like exploitative clips
course.
on social media platforms. So it takes that idea and it kind of, that's it. It updates it for a modern audience. Now that's it. I will say it doesn't do the exact same stylization of it. It's not done in documentary style. There are little bits throughout the course of the film that are, because there are clips that are used, but it's not like that straight the entire way through the movie. So it takes things and it kind of, it twists sort of the type of narrative that you're getting from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So before we get into kind of like a deeper plot,
Yeah.
and what we like, didn't like, and then obviously, you know, the spoiler bits, which, you know, we're gonna warn you guys about before. Make sure to, you know, follow us on the platforms. Leave a rating. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
That really, really helps
It
a lot.
really
The
helps us,
show.
yeah.
And, you know, if you want a written version of this, editorialized, and a bunch of other stuff that's happening on the website, visit gravetonepod.com.
Yeah. Check all that out. Check it out. We're really fun. I promise. Okay, so should I do a quick IMDb synopsis, and then we can talk through general feelings and kind of first impressions and stuff?
I mean, I guess IMDb before we go into the more detailed
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right? Just to give us like somewhere to kick off. Okay. A woman employed as a website content moderator comes across a series of violent videos reproducing death scenes from a film. Full stop. That's it.
Wow.
I mean, technically that's true. But
Okay, but they're all technically true, but this literally says nothing.
I know. It doesn't tell you what the movie's about.
Okay.
Anyway.
So what did she do with it? Did she delete them? Did she approve
That's the thing
them?
we don't
Okay,
know,
but like
right?
if I'm reading this and I know nothing about, this is ridiculous.
You're like, well, this sounds boring. Because they don't even reference that there's like an original film. Anyway, whatever.
All right.
Yeah. So, first impressions for you coming away from it. How do you feel about it? And again, prefacing, we don't have any attachment, I will say, to the original
Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah, 'cause
so
we haven't seen it.
We haven't watched it.
And watch it because, like I said, it was maybe a little bit too fucked up for me to watch, even though I understand, you know, most of that was fake and whatnot.
Yeah, it's still, you know.
still, you know, like it looks kind of freakishly weird and
I
real enough.
I don't
And
mind
also
it,
it has
but-
kind of like that old school glare to it.
Oh, God, yeah.
That just makes it seem like it was just real.
Yes.
You know, back in the days, whatever. So
Films like this are very gritty in a way that and I can understand why audiences would have questioned at this time, like, what the fuck, am I watching this actually happen on screen? Because it kind of looks like you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways, I really enjoyed this movie. I liked a lot the story was good, you know, the way that they interwoven. That how you say that word.
Interwove, I guess.
Interwove, I guess. The original movie into this one,
Yes.
which actually made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You know, because like it's a guy who is essentially trying to recreate
The scenes from
the
the
scenes
original
from the
film.
original one, but for the TikTok platform, which is called Kino,
Kino.
in this movie. You know, so like all that kind of ties in and makes a lot of sense. The
Mm-hmm.
performances were really good. Some of the kills were, you know what, I actually thought it would be worse
Yeah,
than
you
what
know
was
what?
shown. Because
Yeah.
like the whole marketing thing, and everyone's talking about this, is that the whole marketing thing, they're like, oh my God, it's been removed from everywhere. It's too crazy to see.
Yeah.
It's too jarring for the
Well, it's
public
because,
audiences.
but they were going off of like the original
Yeah,
film,
yeah,
right?
and like all the
So
posts you see on Instagram, it's like it has that censor thing, you know, like you have to click to see what it is.
I will say their marketing campaign was very clever.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very good, but I was like, okay, I went in and expecting that it's gonna be like, oh my God,
Like,
you know, I'm gonna be
rough.
sitting there and be like, okay, I cannot eat my popcorn right now because I need to put it on the ground because it's gross.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No,
No.
not at all.
No, no,
like
no.
I've seen worse movies than this.
Yeah, I will.
You know what I mean?
I think this is a good, if you've not watched it yet and you're just like listening to maybe the beginning of the episode because you're not sure if you want to go see it.
Yeah.
I will say that, yeah, as it's not one of those that's just like violence the entire way through for the sake of
It's not.
violence and stuff. So don't feel like you have to shy away from it necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think the worst scene, and we'll talk about it after
Yes,
in the
yes, yes.
spoiler side of things, was kind of like the one that was the most gruesome, quote unquote. And even then it just looked fake. You know what I mean?
Kind
Like
of,
it looked
yeah.
fake enough
Yes.
that you were like, yeah, this is not that bad.
And we have to think about things from the perspective as well that we're looking at this as a 2026 audience,
Yes,
where
of
we
course.
see so much stuff, so many effects, so
We're
many things
so
that
very desensitized
your
to this
and your
whole
brain
thing.
is so on the whole like, oh, it's fake, oh, it's AI, oh, it's this, oh,
Yeah.
it's that, and like spotting where you can find that little flaw that you're like, yeah, no, that's not real, like those types of things, right? So yeah, it makes
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
sense.
that's it. Yeah, I mean, look, regardless, I still liked it a lot. I thought it was, you know, well done. The performances were great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were good.
So that was awesome. I would definitely give it a solid 6.5.
Ooh,
I would
look
say
at you! Look at you with your digs right away.
out of 10. Well, yeah,
Hey.
yeah. Digs are not spoilers. We can talk about it now.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's true. Well, we do. We usually do digs first. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 What about you?
You know, I feel like I'm kind of the same mind. Again, that's it. I mean, exploitation films of that era are not super duper my thing, if I'm honest.
Sure.
I don't hate them. And there are some that I think are really interesting, and I think that they live properly in their own canon of filmmaking. I just don't gravitate towards them. They are
We're
very...
not going to seek it out and put it on the
No,
background while you're
that's it.
making a pie.
It's
you
just
know?
not my
like-
kind of thing. They are very gritty and unsettling, and so it's just not something that I regularly would be in the
Right.
mood to watch in the first place. I'm sure I'm not the only person, but I'm sure a lot of people are really into that kind of thing, and that's totally fine. It's just not really for me. So I guess I was happy enough that this kind of did update things and sort of take us out of that format of simply a series of scenes of horrible, violent things happening. Not saying that that would have been terrible. This could have been like a found footage style film, and I wouldn't have hated it necessarily.
Okay.
I don't think I would have minded that aspect of things, but I...
But it had like a string of events that made sense.
Oh, for
and,
sure.
You know,
yeah,
like,
I think the way that they did it, I'm not unhappy with at all,
yeah,
honestly.
that's it.
Like overall it was just it was enjoyable. It's got an enjoyable like kind of psychological cat and mouse game
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on to a degree that was like, you know, an interesting enough through line. It wasn't perfect. There's some stuff that's it we can talk about a little bit later, like maybe dialogue wise, and a few things that were like really, really, really on the nose. Sometimes we're lacking nuance in some things, or like the ability for people to make up their own minds about what the message is. And I'm like,
Right.
it's not necessary, guys. It's okay. It's okay. People don't have to just be like shoved, you know, all of the opinion.
Nowadays, man, you'd be
I
surprised.
know. I guess you're not allowed to.
Now it's like any movie that happens
This is
or
the
TV
message.
show,
Yes.
you go on Google and it's like, oh, type in movie name, movie ending explained,
Oh,
and you're like,
always.
you know, the dog survived. That is the ending. There's no other message in the movie. It's like, the dog is alive. I don't know what to tell you. That's the ending.
True enough.
But that's,
so,
anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I think there were a fair few very committed performances in the film, which I was surprised
Oh, yeah.
about. It had like some really solid moments in it. It had some good moments of tension overall and everything. And yeah, I don't know. Overall, I thought it kind of tied itself together quite well. So I think I'm sitting in the same range. I'm about like a 6.5 out of 10. It was enjoyable. Like it was just an interesting
Yeah.
enough film to watch. I didn't have a bad time with it at all, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Let me just run through cast briefly before we get into like the more spoilery stuff and our favorites and all the rest of the maybe more major plot points that we'll go through as well. So the film,
Do it.
so the film does have actually like a fairly well-known cast in it as well. Barbie Ferreira, who most people know from like Euphoria, and she also had a little bit part in Jordan Peele's Nope. Also, she plays the lead character of Margot.
She was a Nope.
Yeah, she was. She works at the video store or whatever with
crap,
the
you're
other
right.
character, Angel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's cool.
Yeah, she's in that for 5 minutes. So she plays Margot. She's the lead character. She is a content moderator.
She was damn good.
At the app Kino. Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought she was great. I mean, I really liked her in Euphoria when I did watch that
Yeah.
show. I thought she was really good. I don't blame her for leaving. And it's cool that she's been able to kind of like branch out and she's doing her own thing now. I think that's awesome. So good for her. It also stars Dacre Montgomery as Arthur Spivak. Of course, Dacre Montgomery, most people will know from Stranger Things. He
Yeah.
played the character of Billy for a couple of seasons. Did an
The
excellent
hot bad boy.
yeah, did an excellent job in that show, I will say. His performance was very good, and it is also excellent in this film. His character is very unhinged. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it to give too much away about all the stuff that happens, but his character is very unhinged, and I found he pulled it off like really well.
Yeah, he plays kind of like a duality.
It's very interesting to see. Yeah.
It is very interesting
Yeah.
to see, yeah. Yeah,
Other characters are the character of Samantha, who's played by Josie Tota, who's an influencer. Aaron Holiday plays Margot's roommate, Ryan, who's a sweetie pie. He's so cute.
where is he from? He was...
So he was in an episode, from what I had looked at really briefly.
He was in something
He was
that
in
I
an
remember.
episode of Euphoria, which is maybe
Okay.
where like the connection came from. But he's also in Cocaine Bear, which might
Oh,
be what
crap,
it is.
that's why.
Yeah.
Yes, he's one of the quote-unquote bullies with really short
Yes,
shorts.
exactly. Yeah, so he's in that as well.
Oh, Jesus.
So his character's really sweet, and then small other ones too. I mean, not really small. Jermaine Fowler is in the film as well. Love him. Jermaine Fowler
yeah.
from The Blackening, and what the hell was that movie that we saw at Fantasia last year?
Don't remember, but I need
God.
to put it on the, like, the movie picker, the horror movie picker.
I mean, it's not really a horror movie, though, is it?
No, but still.
I know. I'm just saying.
It's great.
Terrestrial.
Terrestrial,
Sorry,
there we
guys. Which we saw at Fantasia last year, which was so much fun and fantastic, like dark sci-fi comedy type of mashup of a bunch of different things. It was really
He was
good.
incredible in it.
And he's wonderful in everything that he does, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And Charlie XCX also has a very bit part. I actually thought she'd be in it for longer. I was like, oh, she's in one scene. Anyway.
Two.
Oh, fine, too. There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah, that's it. She's not in it very much at all. But she's starting her own. I think she's getting into acting to a degree because,
Yeah, I
as far
guess.
as I'm aware, she's meant to be appearing in a couple of other. I mean, she's gotten like a few under her belt at this point, and she's meant to be, I think, like popping up in a few other films that are on the way as well.
Whatever, doesn't matter.
Mother Mary, I believe.
Sure.
Yeah, that's coming out too. Something like that. So, anyway, full cast, that's kind of what everything looks like, and there are obviously some other smaller characters as well. So, why don't we get into the spoilery bit of thing? We can go through a plot a little bit in a little bit more detail.
Yeah, in a little bit in more detail.
Yeah,
That's
and
it.
talk about some of our favorites, least favorites, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, spoilers, guys.
You've been warned. Spoilers ahead.
Do you want to, how about I run through maybe more overarching
Yeah,
premise?
yeah, like give us
Yeah.
more of what happens in the movie because that IMDb bullshit is stupid.
Yeah, we know this. So,
Tells you nothing.
no.
That just tells me that she was just sitting there and the movie is her clicking buttons for 2 hours.
I know, yeah.
Like, or she's like sleuthing at the computer for, no.
Yeah, that's
There's
it.
so much more
There's
that
a lot,
happens.
There's a lot more going on, and there's a lot of kind of commentary about social media and
Oh my God, so much.
what makes people popular and the kind of sick sort of love that people have for really fucked up shit that they find on the internet.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So, as mentioned, Barbie Ferreira plays the character of Margot, who is a content
Margot
moderator.
Romero.
Romero.
Also, that's for sure a reference.
It must.
like,
Yeah, you're right. It must be.
come
It's true.
on.
I think I realized it. You know what? They said her name earlier in the film, her
Mm-hmm.
full name, but I think it wasn't until I saw it written down at one point that I was like, oh,
Right.
okay. So Margot is a content moderator at basically a copy of like TikTok,
Yeah.
which is an app that they call Kino in the film. It is a social media app, short clips shared, all that kind of stuff. She spends pretty much her entire day, watching videos that have been flagged and determining whether or not they can be allowed on the platform. And through her work every day, she starts to come across these very odd videos that appear to be videos with like a lot of mannequins and weird shit in them, but they appear to be videos of different people being killed in different ways. And there's a very strange narration that's overlaid over top of it that she does not know at first, but through posting on Reddit, when she starts to question what's going on.
On the old Reddit.
On the old
Yeah,
Reddit.
it has like the old school skin
yeah,
to
it
it,
did,
whatever
you're
it
right.
is. Because the movie's set in 2024. I don't remember if
I
it had it at
think.
that time. I guess it did. It
Yeah.
just feels like it had the new skin forever. Anyways, doesn't matter.
I don't know. Anyway, when she gets curious about this and it starts to raise some red flags in her brain, she starts posting about it on Reddit to get other people's opinions as to whether or not these look like real deaths in some
Well, yeah,
capacity.
she's trying to do the whole thing, don't fuck with cats,
Yes.
to get the whole internet.
That's it, to get people's opinions on
Detective
things
community.
and look into it. And when she does this, one piece of information that she is given is that someone's like, oh, this reminds me of Faces of Death. And so
Yeah.
when she looks into it, she comes to realize that whoever is making these videos is copying scenes from the original Faces of Death film from 1978, particularly not all of the scenes of like actual real stuff in the film, but the scenes that were created for the movie of people like being killed, essentially.
Yeah.
And when she does this, of course, it starts her on basically a sleuthing investigation to discover who this fucking monster is who's murdering people and putting it online. And then we get a lot of split POV between herself and between the character of Arthur, played by Dacre Montgomery. Arthur Spivak is the killer.
Not this Arthur.
No, not
The
this one.
other
Oh my God,
Arthur.
when they said his name yesterday, I tee-heed a little bit in the
Wow.
theater. I was like, his name's Arthur. And so that's it. So Arthur actually is the person who's doing this. He is obsessed with the original film and obsessed with the fame that he is gaining through posting these videos
Yes,
that
all
are
that
basically
dopamine that you
from
get
the
from
viral
social
video
media.
stuff. Yeah. And he has this like sick sort of fascination with it. So it becomes a cat and mouse game of her trying to track down who the fuck this guy
But
is.
also he's
and
trying to
him
track down
trying
her
to track her
because
down.
he saw the post on Reddit and he was like, anyways.
Yeah, and so it leads into like this entire sequence of events while also we're still watching Arthur keep up with the people that he's collecting to use for
Yeah.
his videos as well. And so Margot becomes entangled into this whole situation because no one will listen to her because everybody thinks women are hysterical and no one listens to them. And Margot, unfortunately, had a very traumatic incident occur, I want to say maybe a couple of years
Yeah,
prior, I guess we're given to understand, where unfortunately she was making what again was supposed to be a viral video with her sister in where they were doing like a TikTok dance on train tracks. And
And they were supposed to like jump off of
they're
it
supposed
on
to
the
jump off
last
at the
minute,
last
second.
second. Unfortunately, when they did that, because the way the train tracks are laid, most of them have big rocks, right? Like big stones or like a bunch of like gravel and stones on either side
Yeah,
of the tracks
it's,
themselves with the way
it's
that they're
gravel.
raised. Unfortunately, her sister, when jumping off of the tracks at the last second, slipped, fell backwards, and was killed by the train when it went by. So obviously Margot, went through like a horrible situation and now is just kind of trying to live her life out of the spotlight because the video went viral.
Of course.
And everybody knows her as Train Girl, which is fucked, by the way. That's
Well.
crazy. And so she's almost like she bumps into people in public and they make fun of her. That's nuts. That's insane. I couldn't wrap my mind around that. I was
I
like,
don't know.
man, people are fucked up. So she tries to live her life in sort of solitude to a degree until all of this starts happening and she becomes convinced that there's more going on than people think and that these videos are not being faked. They are in fact real. So,
Yeah. That's it. That's a very long IMDb.
sorry.
That is not going to fit on the page.
No, definitely not. Okay. Shall we kick off with maybe favorites? Do you want to start with what you liked?
Yes. Favorites. There's like a lot of stuff that I liked about the movie. I have to say the thing that I'm still remembering because like we watched it very late last night, came back home at like 1 a.m. Anyways,
Yeah.
whatever. It was actually nice to sleep on it for once. You know,
It's true, we rarely do. It gives you more time to collect your thoughts.
yeah,
sometimes.
kind of a little bit. I really, really, really liked the portrayal of Arthur.
Okay, yeah.
He played that character. What's his name again?
Dacre Montgomery.
Okay, Montgomery. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
it. I mean, I liked him in Stranger Things
yeah.
because he was like, pretty fucked up
No, he
there
was
as
great.
well.
I think he's got a good range of unhinged.
Yeah,
this
that's
actor.
it. The way that he played this character, I don't know if he's done any kind of like crazy research into serial killers, I guess you
Well,
want to call it.
feels
At
like
this
he was
point.
inspired by like other film serial killers and stuff, like those like
Probably.
kooky ass fucking types of characters.
Yeah,
that
but
you
he was
get.
also like there's that scene when he's like psyching himself up to walk to the house at night, and he's going like, and he's like kind of like as if he's about to like deadlift
Yes.
300 pounds at the
Yes.
gym. Like that was cool. I don't know if that was
Yeah.
direction. That
and
was
he like
him.
slaps himself in the face a lot
Yeah,
and stuff too to
that's
psych
it.
himself up, and you're like,
That was incredible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like his craziness when he is trying to not catch, but I guess kill one of the people
Yes.
that escapes, obviously, because of course that's gonna happen in a movie like this. He's like trying to help her,
oh yeah,
but in a kind of like a sarcastic, funny
it's
way, like
gross,
I'm gonna
yeah.
get you anyways. Like that was insane.
Yeah.
And that was, I don't know if there was like incredible direction or if he decided to do it that way or a combination of both. Like it was so well done that I believed him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it was, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy. I'm like,
Agreed.
I meet this guy in the street. I'm like, nah, man.
No, I have to go. But the problem is that he does this have this wonderful duality of character where when he presents himself to a lot of people, he makes himself look small and
Yes.
he makes his voice more nasal and high pitched, so he seems less intimidating
course.
as a person. And he does a very good job of it. He doesn't really look people in the eyes because he's trying to make himself look uncomfortable.
Yeah, when he's like stalking his victims type of thing.
Yeah, and when
Yeah.
when he's speaking to people in situations in which he's not doing anything crazy or fucked up, like he won't look right at them.
Yeah.
He looks away, or he, that's it. Kind of like he hunches his neck a little bit, like to make himself look more diminutive and like less intimidating. He also, he dresses himself in this very particularly baggy coat, so you can't tell that this guy's built.
Right, that's it. Yeah, yeah.
Which makes sense because there's a lot of physicality to what the character does to catch people.
Mm-hmm,
So if he were very scrawny or something, you'd be like, wow, that must be really hard to do. But the size that he is, I'm like, no, I believe it.
Yeah.
This guy really works for it.
Yeah. It's really well done. Seriously, that's
Mm-hmm.
like his part is great. That's my number one.
Okay.
What's your number one?
I think that if I have to kind of pick something, because there were quite a few aspects of the film that I really liked, but I think if I had to pick something to start with, it's probably what I was talking about earlier, which is sort of to a degree the commentary that the film creates and discourse that the film can create around people's sick fascination with these types of videos that are posted online, where they take off and they become viral because people have this little thing in the back of their brain that's like, oh, this is horrible, but they're like, oh, but is it real though? Like, I'm just going to watch it again. I'm just going to keep up with it. And like, people are like, this is fucked up. And there's such a disconnect when people are watching a very violent video like these online, where, we see it in multiple scenes in the film. There are a bunch of comments like, whoa, that's crazy. Yeah, fry him. What the blah, blah, blah. Like whatever, like stupid shit that people are saying.
Yeah.
Because there's such a disconnect when something's on your phone screen in particular, I find. That seems to cause people to become almost feral. It's like, it's something that is almost like long lasting in the human race in general. It's like, why did we used to go to public hangings and executions back in the day and stuff?
so wild.
You know what I mean? Like this is our version of that now.
Yeah, yeah.
Is like the safe version of getting to see this stuff online.
It's like
and
a weird
people still
thrill
get
of
like
it or something.
people get like feral about it.
Yeah,
Like they
yeah.
get really fucking weird about it. So I thought that it was cool that they took the opportunity
And
in the
that's
film
why
to
we
talk
have
about
rage
that.
rooms. Go to a rage room instead.
Sort your shit out.
Jesus.
But it was good, and it was interestingly done because it was interesting that they took the time to comment on these things, and in fact it's quite like a pivotal aspect of the story itself, right? Is that like he keeps gaining popularity and followers, Arthur, because people are like obsessed with this kind of video.
Yeah, because they think it's fake, or because they think it's real,
It's
and
the
they're like,
thrill
"Oh
of
my
like, oh, but
God, I'm watching
maybe.
something real,"
Yeah,
whatever it is.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, it's very interesting. It's strange because that is actually kind of like how the algos behave in a sense. They will amplify things that people are engaging with,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
only up to a certain level. You know what I mean? When it starts to get too racy or too violent, the problem is that people want more of that, but you can't have that on the platform.
Yeah.
So there's like a middle line,
cutoff.
a cutoff where it's too much.
Yes.
And I guess his videos like that are really just on that cusp because it seems fake. And people
Yeah.
would be like, there's no way that this is happening for reals, So I guess, even the first video that Margot moderated, she was like, nah, this is totally fake. And
Yeah,
she
she looked
approved
at it like 3 times and she was just like, likely fake. Allow.
Yeah, that's it.
And then as she starts to question, right? The second one that she sees, she goes, "Not real?" Question mark.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
she's
it. So like, it's at first glance you obviously see that it's fake, and
Of
that's kind of
course.
like why it goes through and becomes this crazy thing.
exactly.
Yeah, I would say for me for sure, the second thing that I liked, and I don't know if this is like a weird too niche of a thing, but the character of Arthur
Yes.
is fucking smart, man.
Yes, it's true.
Yo, that house has hidden doors,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, I don't want to say it's modular, but like it has hidden walls.
Yeah.
The hidden doors behind walls. It has like another access way that is behind a library, kind of like shelf, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then that other whole thing in the basement, it's a whole, obviously, kind of like his killing room where everything he stages to do his, videos that are actually happening for reals.
Yes.
There, he is fucking smart in building it that way specifically. He wears basically like a full bodysuit to make sure there's
Yep.
no like, he doesn't get
Well,
contaminated.
he has an
but
aversion
also-
to blood. I don't
yeah,
know if
exactly.
you noticed that
Well, so
throughout the course
that's
of
what
the
I was
film.
that's what I was going to is
Yeah.
that like despite all of these things that he's doing and he's being really smart and careful and everything, and the fact that he's filming all these crazy ass videos,
Yep.
he still is really a content creator, I
yeah.
guess, at heart.
Yes.
Or the reason that he's doing this is to create content. So he's like disgusted by blood, especially that
Yes.
it's someone's, because he shoots someone in the video and then the blood touches his shoe, which is still covered.
Yeah.
By the way, in like plastic, whatever it is. He's like, ew, and then he's like wiping it off on the floor.
Yeah, he's
which
like wiping
is
it off immediately, and he goes. He
hilarious.
has to clean his entire body after. You see him that cuts to a
Yeah,
scene
yeah,
right
when
after
he's, like,
where he's
scrubbing his-
under his nails, like really, really aggressively at the sink, and you're like,
That's
"Ugh,
it.
Okay.
I like that. I like that duality of the character that he played, but
Mm-hmm.
also that duality of him being like basically Dexter-level
Oh, yeah.
smart and being
It's
super
true.
careful
and
about
also
it. But then,
Dexter-level meticulous as well.
well, that's what I'm
right?
saying,
So-
right? Yeah, that's it. So Dexter-level was smart and meticulous about that, but then if something touches him, he's like, "Oh my god!" Blah.
Yeah,
and
pretty
then
much.
runs away, which is kind of like the duality of the characters that he's
Yes.
playing, like you were just talking about previously. So I thought that was really smart.
Yeah, I
in the
agree.
way
I think
it's
that was
done.
really cool.
Yeah.
My second favorite thing, I think, is probably Barbie Ferreira's character.
Oh, yeah.
Her through line, but also her performance, particularly she gets pretty manic before the end of the film as
Oh,
well.
yes.
And it's not a question of, oddly, like a lot of the times when you watch films like this and there's a killer, the killer, because of the portrayal, tends to steal the show to a degree. This I found, like in terms of like the performance that you
Right, yes,
remember
yes,
from the
yes.
film, I didn't find that was the case with this.
No, they were both, and she was-
was like
very
real,
good.
real wild, and she carried like everything that was a little bit calmer at the beginning of the film. I thought she carried really well the level of increasing tension and increasing stress that she's experiencing all the way through. And then by the time she loses it, I was like, oh, wow, okay. Yep. So I really appreciated the intensity of playing a character like this, particularly with it always in the back of your mind, like, oh, I'm responsible for my sister's death. I'm responsible for my sister's death.
Right,
And you
yeah,
could
yeah, yeah.
see it through the way that she played the character pretty frequently.
Yeah, but also you can see it shift through her where she almost kind of like accepts it over time,
Yeah.
because at the beginning of the movie she's like, anyone mentions this to her, she's like, no, that's it, I'm going inside, I'm never going outside, which
Yeah.
literally she does that.
Yeah.
And then towards the end of the movie, like, she's being driven in a taxi and the guy's like, are you like train girl? And she's like, yep. That's fucking me.
Yep.
So she kind of goes through that level of, I guess, acceptance and
Of acceptance.
understanding.
Love her stages of grief have been completed.
Essentially, yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, it's very smart. I agree. I also enjoyed her character a lot, especially at the end when she's like, very fight or flight type of thing that happens.
And like forces herself into fight, and I'm like,
yeah,
oof,
that's it. Which is, again, kind of goes to show, and sorry, goes to say with the whole, being accepting that you're a train girl. She has to go through this experience to accept what is happening.
Yeah,
My
sure.
God, I feel like we're going way too deep into this. It's like,
maybe deeper
philosophy
maybe
in the
deeper
movies.
than we need to, but honestly, it did. It had some interesting ideas, and the portrayals of the characters were really good. So
Yeah, I agree. You know what? For number 3, completely different other things, so that we're not too fucking philosophical on this shit. I like the kills. Give me the blood.
Yeah, they were good.
The everything that they showed, and they showed enough of it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Even though it wasn't too much, like I said.
Well,
like
so Arthur does this really scary thing when he takes his victims, where he stabs them with like an EpiPen, basically, that has fentanyl in it, and it's so jarring and aggressive when he does it, where it's like bam, and I'm like, ugh. Every time he did it, I was like, oh God, that's horrible.
yeah.
So yeah, it's just that leads to some like good setups for kills. They did a good job that way too of his little weird ass recreations of the original film's scenes, but with like all the mannequins and all that stuff. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, I did like that part. Like I said, it wasn't too much. Like
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like almost hostile level, not like in the disgusting way, but in the gore kind of way.
I kind of thought it was going to be like
That's what I
that.
said. Yeah, I thought there was gonna be close to that level. It is not even
Not really.
close to this.
No.
It's really not that bad. Despite that fact, I still liked kind of like that they showed enough of it to be jarring, you know?
Oh, definitely.
And it was well done. So
And the kills the thing with the kills in this is that they're realistic, so they feel pretty visceral, and you're like,
yeah, that's it.
God.
Yeah, it's not like it's extended and they're doing crazy shots, whatever. Yeah, the only thing, like I said at the beginning there, before the spoilery bit, before Gary came along, is there's only one scene that was pretty gory, but even then it was unrealistic just because the way that it was shot, where he's like pouring the acid that's supposed to dissolve body parts
right. Yes.
onto a victim,
Yeah.
right? And he's like, oh, this is what happens when whatever. And I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be really fucked up. But then the body parts just looked fake.
I mean, they
They
did.
looked pretty fake.
I know.
You know what I mean?
They
So
did.
I'm not saying it was bad, but I'm just saying like that was the goriest part, and it was still fake looking. So it's kind of like
So again, you're not like like you're not like
Yeah,
viscerally
that's it.
affected by the film. This is why I said this again earlier before we got into spoilers, is that if you think that this is going to be too much for you, it probably won't be.
Yeah, no,
it's
it's
more
really
toned
not that
down than
bad.
you think it's going to be.
I agree.
I thought I was going to be more bothered
You know what?
by it.
I
but
wonder
was like,
if they're gonna release some kind of Blu-ray or a special edition where it's like
I wonder.
where they're gonna have some fucked up shit.
Yeah, I
there,
don't know
you
if they had. Maybe they did more and they had to cut it down for
Maybe.
like rating purposes and stuff. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
Like it's possible. I don't
That'd
know.
be cool.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, hey, send us one.
Yeah. I think my third final kind of favorite thing, maybe to start wrapping things up, again, sort of plays on the aspects of what I was talking about earlier with regards to like, people getting crazy on social media for like really fucked up stuff. It's specifically watching the scenes that we see of Margot doing the moderation work that she is doing and the stuff that she allows versus what she doesn't allow. And it's based on like her training and what she's been given to do. But it's so interesting because there are, accidents and like things that look like aggressive and pretty violent and stuff that she's allowing because she's supposed to. And then something as simple as a woman explaining how to administer Narcan to avoid an overdose, which is an educational thing to be doing. She has to flag for drug use. The woman who's showing people how to put a condom on a banana properly, she has to flag for sexually explicit.
Yeah, that makes
and
no
you're like,
sense.
what the fuck? And meanwhile, there are like things where you can kind of see someone like basically falling off a building and stuff, and she allows it.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
No, that seriously.
What?
None of it makes
but
sense.
it's so true because how many times do we see, that a person will have posted something and they're like, hey, I'm reposting this because it was literally flagged and taken down for some stupid shit. And it's just them talking about something.
Right.
And you're like, what? Why would that have been taken down in the first place? When meanwhile, that's it. We're seeing things like, basically videos of people overdosing and stuff. And we're like, oh, well, that's allowed. What do you mean?
It's strange
It's
how
crazy.
it works. Yeah,
It's
there's
crazy.
some probably governmental regulations and whatever it is, but also at the same time, it's, the decisions of the platform.
I know. Yeah,
So-
that's it. No, that's absolutely it. And so
They
that's it.
keep saying in the movie, give people what they want.
Yes.
Right? Like they will put up videos and approve videos that are fucked up and whatnot, that will be viral, that people are going to stay on the platform and longer, right? Like
Yeah,
if you give them
exactly.
educational content, it's like,
They're like, oh, no, but they're talking about this thing explicitly. And you're like, what?
yeah, anyways, whatever.
It's crazy. But I found it was clever because it
Yes.
was subtle, but it added a lot of additional commentary to how social media platforms are regulated and what's really being shown to you, and the fact that if they know that it'll get more views, you're more likely to be shown the worst parts
Of course.
of something.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was just interesting to kind of like have that aspect of things. So yeah, I appreciated that. But yeah, this was just like,
That was
and
pretty good.
It was just a pretty good
That was
film,
pretty good.
honestly. Like I said, the confrontation that occurs at the end of the movie between Margot and Arthur, when she's able to like get through, she's gotten into the house, gotten out once, and has come back to try and save the other two people who are stuck in there and everything. When they get to that part, now their final fight and everything, I liked. Some of the dialogue before that I thought was like way too on the nose.
Yeah.
When he starts talking about you
I
got to
agree.
give the people what they want and everything, I'm like, okay. And like he has to basically like explain in detail like why his videos are popular and stuff, and we're like, we know.
Everyone has TikTok on their
Yeah,
phone.
like we know. Like I don't need you to like hold my hand and walk me through
Yeah,
all of
yeah,
it. And
that's
I
it.
know it's true. We're getting kind of less nuance in some stuff a lot of the time now. And you can see it in like people's complaints about certain big releases. And I do agree, at least with some of them, even some of films that I've really enjoyed, like Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. I'm aware that there's no nuance to whether the monster is the good guy in the movie. Like it's a little bit too much, like it's a little bit too in your face, and maybe it could have used like a bit more of a layer to it, but whatever. Listen, this is kind of what we're getting now. So I agree that like for this one, I feel like this kind of leans too much into that. But outside of those aspects of things, those were kind of the only disappointing sort of points for me in the film. Everything else was just kind of enjoyable the whole way through.
Yeah, no, I
So,
agree. All of it.
Yeah.
All of it was pretty good. So that's what it is.
Yeah.
We have also Exit 8 that we are most likely going to go watch today.
Today.
Super
I'm so
excited
pumped.
about that.
I'm so happy we actually are able to access it.
Yeah,
in our
in
area.
like one movie
know, it's like
theater
one
that it has in
movie
the area.
theater.
It's so insane. I mean, look, it's a foreign language movie
I
that is,
know.
but anyways, it's been so talked about a lot.
Yeah.
So we're going to check that out.
Yeah.
And we are finally, because we kind of realized it and we're like, we have not done any horror TV shows of any kind.
Yeah, we wanted to.
Even though we say,
yeah.
we do movies, books, TV,
I promise we're
and
gonna do
games.
more. I promise we're gonna do more.
Yeah, so we are going to be covering.
We're going to be talking about something very bad is going to happen. We've
Yeah.
recently kind of wrapped it up. I know we might be behind a little bit with it, but hey, listen, we wrapped it up. We watched the whole thing, and we kind of want to sit down and chat through a lot of
We were talking
a
so
show.
much during
Yeah, we were,
the
I
TV
know.
show, so we're like, okay, stop
Doing
leave
that.
it for the pod.
Yeah, I think this gives us a good opportunity to sit down and talk about something that actually, and what I was just saying, does have a lot of nuance and leaves things open to interpretation, which is interesting.
Look at that segue. I think someone heard
Yeah.
me swallow my tea.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. I was trying to. Did it?
You just gotta lean. You gotta lean
I know.
more.
Oops.
Fucking microphones pick up everything. Anyway, yeah, so I'm hoping we'll be able to go see Exit 8 today, and then we'll be dropping an episode for you guys about that as an extra little fun extra review. I think just as often as we're going to see new stuff, we're just going to try and drop reviews about it, because why the hell not?
Hey,
So,
man, at this point, we might be doing 2 episodes a week. So.
maybe. That's it, at least for a bit. And I mean, God, we're getting we've gotten a bunch of stuff this week. Faces of Death, Exit 8. There's a new shark movie called Thrash, that
Thrash.
just dropped
Totally
on
watching it
Netflix.
tomorrow.
Yeah, that's happening. So hey, listen, we're being treated, guys. We've got a bunch of stuff going on. So that's exciting. Lee Cronin's The Mummy comes out next week.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
God. So much stuff going on. So it's going to be really fun. Yay. All right. As mentioned, follow us on all of our socials at Gravetone Pod. Check out the website at gravetonepod.com, if you should like to. And we will be back, I don't know, probably within 24 hours with our next review. So until that time, guys, stay scared and stay tuned.
Ciao, guys.